make chicken tenders. This is such a classic recipe. It is so perfect for your kids or for your picky eaters or for you. Let me show you how we do this. The ingredients for this dish are chicken. I'm using chicken breast today. Salt, flour, milk, eggs, breadcrumbs. I'm going to show you how to make those from scratch. And then oil to fry them in. We're going to heat up our oil. I turn it on high. We're going to add 1 inch of oil into a frying pan. Today I'm using canola oil, but you can use any kind of oil you have handy. This recipe calls for breadcrumbs, so I'm going to make them homemade from this leftover bread I've had around the kitchen for a couple of days. This is my bread maker bread recipe, and it is great for all kinds of uses the next day. It's as hard as a rock. That is stale bread. I hate wasting things. So cut the edges off your bread, and I'm going to help my blender a little bit by cutting the white part into cubes because this bread is really hard. Rough cuts are just fine. So into the blender it goes. So an efficient way to cut is to stack them on top, cut them into strips, and then move them around and do it the other way. Grid fashion. Pop that into your blender, put the lid on, and let's pulse it. Now, if it gets stuck, you gotta pick it up a little bit and press it again. We got action, Jackson. There's a party happening in my blender. From all that bread, we're getting about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. Isn't that great? That bread didn't go to waste. I love that. So your breadcrumbs are gonna go in a bowl. So you need 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons milk. And we're gonna whip that up and incorporate the milk into the eggs. This recipe is a classic egg dip batter with breadcrumb recipe. It's on so many things that you do in the kitchen. You would do this on pork chops if you wanted, on fish, anything. So this is a good one to know. These are skinless, boneless breasts, and I'm cutting them into strips for our chicken tenders. And today I'm making 4. That's gonna feed a whole family. Okay, so we have to line them up Dano. We have our flour. This is just basic white flour. There's 2 cups in here. There's our eggs and milk, and then there's our breadcrumbs. So we take our little chick, we lay it down, we salt it, both sides, and into that flour it goes. Dredge it, dredge, dredge, dredge. And then into our little egg batter, drippy-do, and into our breadcrumbs. And then you shake off the excess and put it on the plate. Now that's on deck. Let's do it again. Salt, flour, dredge. Jump in that egg bath pool, drippy drip, and now into our breadcrumbs and on deck. So keep doing that. When my kids were little, this was our standard recipe because I didn't like going to those fast foods and getting everything so processed, but this was the dish they always wanted to order. This was a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, I'll tell you. If your hands don't end up looking like club fingers, then you haven't done the recipe right. So why I battered that chicken, you didn't see this, but I'd come over here and turn this heat down to medium because I didn't want any fires in the kitchen. My kitchen's hot enough. So I'm going to test the temperature of the oil. I put in just a little dollop of breading, and it floats on top and it instantly sizzles, so now I know this is hot enough to start. So put your chicken in one end at a time slowly. You do not want that oil to splash at you. So that's the trick. You go one end, it's not going to hurt you. Slowly, slowly, slowly drop. I've taught this recipe to kids before, and they want to throw it in, and that's so dangerous. So one end, slowly drop. And put in just enough so that all the sides are going to be touched by that oil, but don't overdo it. You'll do this in like 2 batches is good. Make sure there's room around all these edges for it to bubble up and cook around it so it gets to be a golden brown. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes per each side to cook the chicken thoroughly. If you see those edges get brown too quickly, because it hasn't been 2 or 3 minutes, you'll need to turn your temperature down. Once it gets to be your perfect color, flip it. Oh, that looks great to me. I love using tongs, but you can use 2 forks if you like. But tongs are really the right tool for this. So my hand is way far away from that hot oil. Nope, he's not ready yet. He can go back. Resist the temptation to keep flipping those around. You really only want to turn it once because the heat distribution is more even that way and cooks the chicken more evenly. I also want to point something else out. This was the first guy to go in there, and he cooked the brownest very quickly because he was absorbing all that hot heat. Every time I put another in, it brought the temperature of the oil down. So this guy's going to cook faster along down that assembly line. Let's check number 1 and see what he looks like on the other side. Oh yeah, he's done. Duo, done. We got really nice action Jackson in this pot of hot oil. Yay! I'm going to finish 1 entire batch before I start my second batch because I want that oil to come up again to the real frying hot temperature. By doing that, the oil doesn't seep in and get into all that breading and make your stuff really greasy. That's why a proper hot temperature is the way always to start frying your food. That avoids all that extra grease. I hear those bubbles slowing down on that piece of chicken, and that means I'm getting to the critical point where the oil can start penetrating the food. You want the food to be cooking so the steam is bursting the oil out of the food. At the time that the food is cooked, it no longer presses the steam to press the oil out, and you get really greasy, drenched food. Don't want that, better take them out. So keep frying it up till you're all done. This plate's gonna go in the oven at 200 to keep warm till I'm finished cooking. So the last batch is now done, onto the paper towel it goes. That took about maybe 10 minutes to cook all these chicken tenders. Yay. Don't forget to turn the heat off. You don't want a fire raging in your kitchen. And the rest have been staying warm in our oven. Wow, what a big batch. I'm going to want to dip those in something. So today it's going to be a honey mustard sauce. So I'm taking about 3 tablespoons of mustard. I'm getting my little honey bear and about 2 tablespoons of honey. Now that is a honey mustard sauce. That's how easy that is. Okay, let's try it. Cut down the center. That is so perfectly done. It's purely moist. Dippy-do and my little mustard honey sauce. Yummy yum. Oh, that's amazing. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you like or what I should cook for you. Bon appetit.